Give me a D and a G. It's the Dawg Gus Show. It's the Dawg Gus Show.
Hey, dog, your beard's looking flickin' great, my man.
Thanks, Gus. I've been using the Bush Beard Wash.
The what now?
At Bush Beard, they know that every man with a beard is a unique beardo. And that's why they offer a wide range of products to cater to every beard's needs. Whether you have a long and luscious mane or prefer to keep it short and sharp, their products will help you achieve that perfect look.
From the nourishing beard oil and balm to the refreshing beard wash, their products are made with all-natural local ingredients to keep that beard healthy, soft, and lustrous. The beard comb and brush are designed to detangle and shape your beard, making sure you always look your best.
At Bush Beard, they're dedicated to providing the best possible grooming experience for all the beardos out there. So why settle for an average beard when you can have a glorious, well-groomed one? Try Bush Beard products today and unleash the full potential of your beard.
Be sure to use Dawg Gus 10 and get 10% off your order.
Bush Beard, the small-town brand with the big old Canadian heart. Dawg Gus Show now on Whitewater Rocks Radio.
It's still new to me, that little blurb there.
Yeah, we'll get used to it. It's going to be going on for a while.
All right, I'm good with it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Whitewater Rocks Radio.
You got it.
What's up today, Dog?
We're going to sit down and talk with a gentleman that we spoke to before and tried to get on, but we got him now. It's Braden Foulkes.
Hey, Braden, what's going on?
Hello, guys. Going not a whole lot. Just happy to be on the show with you guys finally after, I don't know, it feels like it's been like a year and a half or something since we originally talked.
Yeah, we've been cruising along, and just happy to have you now. Anyway, so.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
So what would you say first got you into music?
Oh, I think just being around it pretty young. My dad had quite the music taste with rock and roll and things like that. I think the earliest music I remember hearing is ACDC, the Ramones, Nirvana, and the Beatles. And that kicked it off for sure. I started singing along in the car and stuff like that. And I wanted to play drums, I think, because I didn't think I'd be able to figure out guitar. I even back then, I kind of knew I didn't really have tons of patience. So I was like, drums, it's just hitting stuff, like I could do that. And but we lived in a townhouse, so that was a quick no.
Hard no.
Yeah, hard no. And there was guitars kind of around the house anyway, so started picking those things up, and very fortunate to be around a lot of friends who are really good musicians as well, because that was huge for staying motivated to do it and learning a lot from those guys. And then just kept rolling.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I would go the same way. I think I don't have the patience to play guitar, but then I don't have the coordination to play drums. So I just play the stereo.
Yeah. I also think that at an early age, if you pick something up, it's easier to maintain it than
absolutely
to grab something when you're, what age are you about to turn in July?
60.
Okay.
All right.
But that was a pretty, like, when you say like, oh, the Beatles, Nirvana, like a pretty spread out little space of different types of music for sure.
No, it's the best way to be.
Agreed. I'm very much like that. But it's funny, like the Beatles are always, it's almost like every generation talks about the Beatles. Mm-hmm. We talked about this on the show before, and it's like everybody loves the Beatles, or at least has a moment with the Beatles, right? So what's your favorite Beatles song? We'll go with that.
Well, I think my favorite album would be Rubber Soul, and probably something off of that. I think it might even be The Word, which I think has really cool harmonies in it, has a cool beat to it. There's always something getting added to the layers as the song goes on. Mm-hmm. That's just the first one that comes to mind, though. I mean, I think it's safe to say the Beatles are my number one band, and all their solo stuff. So I love it all. I don't think there's anything. I listen to Revolution Number 9 even. I'll listen to
there you go.
So I love it all. But yeah, I mean, my taste goes all over the place. I think earlier on, a few of my friends were punks, we'd go to punk shows, and that was pretty early on when I started playing. And I think that was good because they're pretty easy to learn, punk songs. There's not a lot to them. So that might have gave me the confidence to keep going. It's like, I could play this song. Maybe I could keep learning other things. And then my friends' music taste would kind of bleed into mine, and I would discover new things, like the White Stripes and the Strokes. Got really into the early 2000s, like garage rock revival kind of thing. And that kind of transitioned my interest from punk to like garage rock, because it's more, I kind of think of it as like more melodic punk, I guess, in a way, garage rock, because it's still really fast and in your face kind of music. But yeah, and then, country music. I started becoming really obsessed with like Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and, the old outlaw country. And
Those are horrible choices.
yeah, nobody likes
No,
those guys.
those are awesome choices.
Yeah,
Waylon is the best.
Gus is a big fan of Waylon. I'm more of a Merle guy myself.
I love Merle too. Ramblin' Fever's one of my favorite.
Great tune.
Yeah. So yeah, I love it all, and I'm fortunate to have a lot of friends who like all those kind of musics too. So I can, jam with whoever, and someone's down to play almost any kind of genre.
Nice. Now, when I spoke to you, when I reached out to you again, I was, like I said, I was listening to Apple Music, and whatever I was listening to was over. And then your song popped up, and I was like, I don't recognize this. So I went, of course, I scrolled, like, my God, that's Braden. This is awesome. And it was Need Somebody to Save Me. And my take on this song, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting a 60s vibe on that song.
Yeah, totally. Huge influence from the 60s, and a lot of like the kind of early, well, I guess, 60s, early 70s blues stuff too, like Albert King and Muddy Waters.
Okay.
And because it's just a blues beat. But yeah, with that those kind of 60s tones, like some organ in there, and it's a pretty basic tune. And I recorded that at Shoebox Recording Studio with John Chandler and Brian Rockstall of John's in Amos the Transparent.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure you guys heard of them. And they ran a studio out of Canada for a while. And I actually went in there with just one song called Beauty of Life. And I was like, I just want to make like a Willie Nelson sounding song and record, like doesn't have to be crazy production, just has to be, kind of honest. And that was the first time I ever went into a studio. And I was like, damn, I kind of want to keep going. I got some more songs. Maybe we should do this. And that Need Somebody was the second one. Because I was like, this is cool. I just have this on acoustic, but I feel like this is a song we can put some layers on. Yeah. And it was really just me and him. Like I played bass on it. He played drums and keys. And now we play it with my band. We played it for years now. But it's got a whole new energy. It's got a whole new vibe to it. It's a lot faster. We put some drama into it too. There's like a line where I say, the life raft is just out of reach. And I kind of do like this, like reaching for it, and the music pauses, and we did this little dramatic bit in the middle of that song. And now it's a staple in our set list. So we always play. It's usually the opener too.
Great.
Gets everybody going.
No, because I was just like, okay. And for me, it sounded like, I'm not a musician, but it sounded to me like Donovan.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what because I was asking Gus earlier. I played it. And
I heard Steve Earle.
Yeah. He heard a little to Steve Earle, but I'm like, man, that sounds a lot like Donovan, like not to go to hit like to Mellow Yellow, but it's kind of like that kind of.
Yeah. The Mellow Yellow to me isn't Donovan's best.
Oh, I know it's not. I'm not saying it's his best work, but I'm just saying that kind of, it kind of had that feel to it. Right.
He was on acid when he did that.
No, he was not.
Yeah, for sure.
I love Donovan too. I mean, Catch the Wind, I think, is one of my favorite like folk songs.
It is a great song. Yeah. Catch the Wind. I remember that one well. If you say you could go open for a show for any artist, would it be Willie Nelson, or who would you think it would be?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I guess it depends on what set we pick. Cause it would be mind-boggling to open for that man. And yeah, I'd love to play a bunch of the kind of country stuff I've come up with, but I feel like I'm more comfortable and myself on stage when we're playing rock and roll. That's just where I feel the most at home. And it's just the most fun. Like there's nothing more fun than, loud electric guitars, drums, bass, and just ripping it on stage. So, man, there's so many people I'd love to open to. We were really close actually to opening for July Talk and Crownlands at Blues Fest 2020, which we all know what happened to that. But
What happened?
No.
No, I didn't ask that.
You can't bring it up.
No. Talk about the big C.
That got delayed, and then when we finally did, we opened for Widemouth Mason and the Tea Party, and both bands were super cool guys. I mean, Jeff Martin of Tea Party is like, they're legends, and I just remember seeing him walking up to me looking like a pirate. Like he had like the bandana pulled back, he had like the goatee, and just like, dressed like an absolute rock star. Just walking up to me, and I was like, oh my God, what do I say? What do I do? And he said he liked the show, which was cool to hear from him. That's for sure.
Apparently he's really nice, like really nice.
He was super nice, super friendly. And, I was a little bit nervous being around that kind of caliber of artists like those guys and Widemouth Mason. Both of them just blew me away. Their stage show, they're just the pros, like it's getting a master class right in front of you. So that alone was super, super cool.
Awesome.
Well, that's not a bad combo to do a show with, even though you missed like July Talk and stuff.
Yeah.
But
No,
I mean, the Tea Party and Widemouth Masons.
Yeah.
Canadiana, baby.
I was definitely not disappointed with that.
No doubt. What's your most useless talent?
I don't know. They're all very useful in some degree or another. But here it is. I can make fart noises with my hands.
Oh, brilliant! That's great.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
That was really bad. I think we're done here. That was terrible.
What, the question or the?
Yeah, that question is done.
I mean, any opportunity I can do that on a podcast.
Yeah. I've been waiting for a long time.
Mine's this one. Like I can do this with my fingers that nobody can do. It's my legendary thing.
It's a similar talent.
Legend.
It's just as useless.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Nothing.
No,
not at all.
Do you have a question, perhaps?
No, I don't.
Wow.
That's my useless talent. I don't have any questions.
That's great. Perfect. We're
you're
12 minutes in, and he's run out.
I'll think of something.
When you start writing and when you're starting to think about your next song, do you tend to draw from your daily life, or do you is there emotion that comes in that you use, or how would you describe your writing process?
Yeah, I definitely take, personal experiences and stuff like that and kind of channel them into my songs. A lot of the time I've heard a lot of, songwriters say this, but they just come out of thin air. They literally just show up. Like you have no way of like forcing it, they just kind of show up. And that kind of happens a lot. Sometimes like when I'm in the shower, I'm just, showering, and then like a melody kind of comes into my head, probably sparked from another melody that I heard earlier that day or something. And I kind of turn it into something else, and I'll be like, oh God, I got to get out of here and get my voice recorder going to get this demo down before I forget. But other times, I'll think of like a cool line. I'm just like, that's perfect for a song. That's got to fit in a song somewhere. And I'll just write that down in my voice notes. And then when, one of those chord progressions kind of just comes out of the blue, it's just like, oh, that line fits in there. Let's keep that going, that kind of style. And sometimes it takes like months to get lyrics that I'm happy with. Other times they come out like instantly, the entire song. Like we have a new song, and it all came out at once. And it's weird. it kind of freaks me out sometimes. It's like, where did that come from? It's bizarre, but I'll take it. It's not complaining, I guess.
No. Well, I think that I've heard a lot of people write in the shower because you're not you're not disturbed by anything else around you, right? Like you're sort of in there on your own, obviously. Well, preferably with somebody if possible. But you know, what I mean is essentially like you basically are vulnerable, but also you know, there's no distractions, there's no phones, there's no people around, there's no, you know, nothing's going on. So I think that that's a great answer. I mean, it's you know, I do some of my best thinking in the shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's strange.
Once a week.
Could be even like the rhythm or the sound of the kind of white noise as like you said, kind of blocking everything out. And yeah, sometimes tunes just show up. Like my last album, A Little Hell, that main song, Little Hell, was a shower song. I just started doing that chorus, and I was like, oh man, that's cool. Let me go find the chords for that. And then I was like, it's got to be like something complicated. It's got to be a D sharp minor 7. It's got to be it. Trying to figure out all these different chords. No, it's just E, D, and A. It's just the very first 3 chords I ever learned the entire way through. But whatever works, I stuck with it.
Yeah.
Now, when you first started, Braden, did you have a bunch of material written, or were you doing covers?
Yeah, no, it was probably more covers and things like that. And covers we probably shouldn't have been trying to do. Like I remember a really early cover we wanted to play was Pinball Wizard. And yeah,
ambitious.
That's ambitious for me now. Like I don't know what I was thinking, but one of my friends could play that guitar part. He had the effects. The guitar sounded great. It was when the singing came in that things got hairy. So we're just like, okay, let's probably stick with something a little simpler. And so even then I love the Beatles, but we're trying to be a rock band. So I was like, let's pick the most rockin' Beatles song. Let's do Helter Skelter.
Ooh.
And that one turned out to be a little harder than I anticipated, but it was good because I learned some things playing that song. And originally, I think it's even on YouTube. We play that, but it's really punk. Like the beat is like double time, really fast. But we just recently played it again at a place called Pubwells on Preston, and we played it more laid back. But it went really well. It was the first time we played that in like friggin' decade. So I think that's back in the rotation. But yeah, it was definitely more covers and trying to write songs. I was definitely pretty inspired to write songs almost as soon as I learned the guitar. I used it. I used it as a tool to write songs more than I would actually learn the guitar. Like I've been playing for like 15 years now, and I'm just learning, like figuring out the pentatonic scale and stuff like that, learning how to solo and stuff. So for the most part, it was just a tool to write songs. But performing live, I don't think I was confident enough to bust all the originals out. So it's definitely more covers, which is fun. Everybody loves covers.
It's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm finding more and more when we go to shows, like we go to see some of the local acts now, and they've done their set, and they're like, well, you know, we're doing an encore. What do you guys want to hear? You want to hear another one of our songs? You want to hear a cover? And 9 times out of 10 now we're hearing, you know, we want to hear one of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not as much like when we went last year. Do you know Songs from the Shed?
Yep.
Oh, Mike. Anyway, because they do that, and they kind of. I was talking to a couple of the artists, and I'm like, you know, you need to put on a cover to get people's attention. Oh, she's singing this or he's singing that. And then when you get them in, drop in your originals. Because guaranteed, if they're going to sit there and listen to a cover, and then they listen to one of your originals, and you say, would you like to hear another original? They're going to probably say yes. Mm-hmm. Unless you really, like, you really shit the bed or something. But I haven't seen that at all with anybody we've seen so far.
Yeah, here's Cowboys from Hell.
Yeah, Pantera.
I agree with that. I think that's definitely a way to, but it also gives you some experience in front of people too. I would suspect that when you learn how to play a song and you're comfortable with it, you can always go to it. When you're playing your originals, it's probably a big step for you. So you may have, those things that creep in, like the worry and such. But,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But again, I mean, that's not what I feel usually, but some people do,
Actually, we just played a show, so we decided to. It's been the same band, but we decided to go back to our original high school band name, which is the Rambles, because after high school, the guys went to college or wherever. We did our own thing for a while, did some other bands. Then I started doing my solo stuff. But now we just decided, that this is a band effort. Let's go back as our original band. And we played our first official show as the Rambles on Saturday. And that was I think the very first show we've ever done where it was all originals. We didn't play one cover, whereas usually we'll put in one or two, just because we have so much fun playing the covers we do. But it felt really good to do a full set with all originals. It was really cool, especially at the Rainbow, which was the very first place we ever played.
Nice.
Which is cool.
You played it when it was before they did the Renault.
Oh yeah, well before they did the Renault.
Yeah.
I think it was 2009 or something. We were like 15. Wow. I have no idea how we even got that gig, but it was cool.
How you liking it there now? Like with the renovations and the sound and all that stuff.
It's fantastic. I was genuinely bummed when I read that they might be shutting down. I guess it was a couple of years ago now, and pandemic. Then immediately thrilled that somebody or a few people came in to save the day. And I've seen a few shows there since, and the sound is amazing. Like I saw, Boy Golden. Yep. Yeah, he was there with his band, and they were really amazing. Saw that JJ Wild show.
Ooh,
and that was loud. Like it was a beefy sound, which was really cool. And then just playing it now on Saturday, the sound was fantastic. Sound guy was on it. He was all over the place, making sure everything was perfect. Everything went up. Everything went off without a hitch, except for me forgetting the power cable to my pedal board, which I'm one of those people, man. Like I always forget something. Always. It's terrible. But we opened for Baby Richmond, who's a cool band, and they were really great. And the guitar player was a beauty. He let me use his pedal board, which was like a science project. It was like 100 pedals on this thing, where I'm used to like 3 or 4. But he had, of course, with all the pedals he had the exact ones that I use. So it worked out. I actually used his amp too. I basically used his entire rig, and it was a great sounding rig. So it was a really cool night, and I'm super, super glad that the Rainbow's going stronger than ever, it seems like.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
we're happy too. Seen a bunch of shows there. It's been great.
Did we see Boy Golden open for Sheepdogs?
We did.
Yeah, that's who I thought. I was like, when did we see them? But yeah, they're a great group. I thought.
Yeah. Well, when they went into
Winnipeg, man.
Hey, you can't go wrong when you go into Tom T. Hall, man. Like in his show. Remember when he started saying, "I'm like, no, he's not singing Tom T. Hall." I was like,
yeah, you were
I love this guy.
You were shocked.
I was very happy.
Dog's very he likes the obscure stuff. So
he seems like one of those guys who keeps the Canadiana going. One of those good Canadian acts, which I'm inspired by. I definitely love keeping that kind of mindset when writing songs. And the single we just put out called Drivin', I had to put a CAA reference in there. So
of course,
of course,
I'm doing
good job.
Part. Yeah.
Or you could have mentioned the 401 or the Trans Canada.
Yeah.
I could have done the whole thing.
Who's the greatest Canadian band of all time?
Oh, Jesus.
That'd be the band. I mean, Levon's American, I know. But I still consider them a Canadian band.
Yeah, it's a band.
It's not what you were expecting to hear.
No, but I don't disagree.
Yeah, no, I agree with him.
I think it's, I mean,
100%.
Since Levon is American and he's in there, the Guess Who's up there for me. I really love the Guess Who. I mean, April Wine is up there, and not like maybe if it's like a general list because of all their hits. They're just hit makers, legends. Probably probably the Guess Who. I'm trying to think of.
I feel like he's doing this on purpose.
Yeah, you can stop there, Braden. That's fine. You said the one I wanted to hear and not the one he wanted to hear, so I'm good.
Okay, what's yours?
It's the hip, dude. It's the hip.
Oh, duh.
It's the hip for me. I mean, but the band is like, I have the Last Waltz on vinyl. I've watched the DVD a zillion times.
Yeah.
My mom is a massive Robbie Robertson fan, and like, I love the band.
Yeah, yeah.
I do love the band.
That's a good choice.
And the Guess Who, I saw the Guess Who live probably 15 years ago. And they were awesome. So yeah, I agree. Like, so there's no bad. I
Just
think
so
like,
many
you know,
hit songs. I'm a little ashamed for, of course, not mentioning the hip, because they're
don't be. It's okay. I was like, you're doing this on purpose because he said April Wine, and Dawg loves April Wine, and then I was like, you seriously just gonna skip the hip?
Yeah, no, I mean, they're obviously a massive influence. We played Bob Cajun always at our Pub Wells sets because, you know, those long bar gigs, you got to put a bunch of covers in to make
fill
those
it up.
patrons happy. And that one always gets some cheers for sure.
No doubt.
Well, just like Saturday night
Yeah.
after the Ice Cube show, we went and saw
Mikhail
Laxton at Irene's, and he was doing one of his tunes, and he broke into Bob Cage and that. And of course, I immediately look at Gus, and he's just got a big shit ass grin on his face. But yeah, so anytime you can throw in the hip, it's
and then my other buddy who I went to the Ice Cube show with, who went with me, even though he's a punk guy, which I appreciate. The shout out to Micah. He looked at me. He says, "You ever been to Bob Cajun?" And I said, "Actually, I saw the hip play in Bob Cajun."
Yeah.
Now,
so
that's pretty legendary to be able to say
outside too. It was great. It was amazing. It was like in a farmer's field. It was really good.
Yeah. How far away is Bob Cajun anyway?
It's about 3.5 hours.
Oh, that's not far.
not too bad to go see a hip show for sure.
Well, my sister's cottage is in Halliburton, and that's right in that same vicinity. And that show, like the hip are obviously headlining, but they also Sam Roberts band, the Arkells, and I think who else was there? There was another band there, but I can't remember. But another big Canadian act.
Some shoddy Canadian acts there. Jesus.
Yeah. Not a bad lineup for sure.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really fun show and like classic to say that you saw the hip and Bob
Funny,
Cajun, you know?
right? Right.
Yeah.
It's the Sheepdogs are up there for me too.
Love them. Yeah, a huge Sheepdogs fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
they were incredible when we saw them. My God, they're good.
Yeah.
Apparently,
And they're all monsters too. They're all like 6'5". You know? I saw them with Dawg, but I saw them originally at what was the little place right off Rito there? Not anyways, there was like
the one I always forget the name of.
yeah, same with me.
Avant-Garde?
No, beside that, there used to be a little place to see a band there.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways, it was like I saw them, but Monster Truck opened for them, and I didn't wear earplugs, and it was a really small place. Man, I couldn't hear a thing for about a week after that. So if I'm deaf when I'm 80, I'll know why.
Yeah,
worth it though. Worth it. What's the most difficult thing for you as a musician?
I think for me personally, promotion. I think, you know, especially when I was performing just as myself, or you know, selling Braden Foulkes, I just didn't really feel comfortable that much being like, come see me, come listen to me, come. Like I didn't want to put a shirt with just Braden, my name on it. You know, I just never felt that comfortable. Like I've always been just more into bands and things like that, and I find it easier to like promote the other guys in the band and to like make it more of a collective thing. But yeah, for the many years that I've just been performing as myself, I've just kind of found it hard to keep putting myself out there, which is what exactly you have to do as a musician. So it's a bit of a catch-22, I suppose, for me. But now that we're doing the band thing, I feel a bit of a weight off my shoulders, since it used to all be on mine, I suppose. And now it's a collective thing. It's a group thing. And I think that makes it a bit easier. I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll see.
Yeah.
When you're with the band, when you're doing your set with the band, do you ever do any of your songs, or is it just all band stuff that you guys have done?
Well, I mean, a lot of these songs that are my solo thing, I still like wrote and recorded with those guys. It just never felt like the right time to make it like a full band, just commitment and all that kind of stuff. But after the Blues Fest gig, we started playing a lot more gigs. We played a really great show in Kingston at the Mansion, played a really great show at the Horseshoe, another few really good ones here at like Live on Elgin. And like things are going well. Maybe it's not a great idea at this point to switch the name and everything, but screw it, let's do it. Like these songs were written by us, not me. And we all agreed and it's started doing that. But we do not want to keep making it like half covers, half originals. So we, like the show on Saturday, we played Need Somebody, a song called What I Like, Let Me Be, a few of my like more rockin' like Braden Foulkes numbers. And maybe it'll probably keep like the easier laid back stuff for just my solo stuff if I keep releasing things like that. But just because we know that the people who come to see our shows like those songs already and know them and familiar, it's almost like playing cover songs.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Actually, sort of, I would think that it'd be almost like that because the guys are playing behind you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was the last song you wrote about?
Well, the most recent song we had a rehearsal on Friday right before the Saturday show, and I was like, I'd love to play this one. Like this is one of those songs that I was saying like everything just came all out at once in one go. But it's kind of a weird timing thing, especially with the percussion. So we're just like, let's work on that a bit more before we bring it to the live show. But it's about, well, I was driving to my mom's place and she lives in Pakenham. So it's like a half-hour drive or so. And I was listening to Kings of Leon's first album, Youth and Young Manhood. And there's a song called Joe's Head, which is about a guy, like the classic songwriting story of a guy finding his wife cheating on him, so he kills them both. Like Redheaded Stranger is one of those kind of songs, same sort of vibe. I feel like I've heard a few of them, and I was like, that'd be cool to write a song like that, except the opposite, where the girl finds a guy and blows him up. So I just started playing this chord, and I thought, yeah, that'd be cool. And I got to my mom's place in Pakenham. I was looking after her dogs, and the power went out that night. So, and it's kind of spooky. Like it's out in the country. I had all these candles lit and stuff. I was like, well, I got my guitar here. I should noodle around on this. And this cool, pretty rockin' chord progression came out. And do you guys know Daniel Romano at all?
No.
Definitely check him out. He's another Canadian guy. Daniel Romano's Outfit.
Daniel Romano?
Yeah. Probably the greatest rock and roll show I've ever seen. I'm not even kidding. It was at Club Saw, and then just recently saw them at the 27 Club. But anyway, it's kind of similar to that. And yeah, it's called Big Shotgun, and just all the lyrics kind of spilled out, and it's about that. Or actually a guy seeing a couple go through that, and he's just like, whoa, that's intense to witness. I'm gonna get out of here. So we're hopefully gonna start playing that one live soon, and we're releasing an EP in June at the Rainbow, and we're calling the show actually The First Waltz, because when we booked the show, we didn't know we were playing this Vanier show last Saturday, so we thought it was going to be our first show, but that's okay. It's still called The First Waltz, and we're going to have a bunch of, instead of openers, we're going to have a bunch of friends and local acts come up and play either one of their songs or a cover with us. And so we have Adeline. I don't know if you've heard of her. Local Ottawa act. She just got on the Blues Fest bill opening for Bahamas.
Adeline? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like it's spelled like Adeline, but it's Adeline?
Yeah, like Adeline, but Adeline.
Yeah, fair enough.
really, really good. She's so good, and I've played a few shows with her. That's how I know her, and she has a song called Orchards, which I played it 100 times. Like, we got to have her up. Joe McDonald, don't know if you've heard of him. Another amazing, amazing local artist. Probably the best guitar player you'll ever see. He's in a bunch of bands, like the Gladsome Gentlemen. He used to be in the Ramblin' Valley Band, which I really loved.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah. That's
yeah.
him? Okay, he's a good
Yeah.
guitarist. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's going to be like our Eric Clapton. Play guitar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Decent then.
Yeah, and it's a blues song we're playing. It's just a 12-bar blues song called Ramblin' Rose. We got Skylar Radmore. He's another local musician who's in a band with my keyboard player before. He's on the bar circuit playing all the time. A really amazing songwriter too. Terrence O'Brien, he's going to play Helter Skelter with us. Yeah, he has a project called Terry and the High Flyers, which is really cool. He used to be in a band called Tribe Royal, which is really cool. Who else? Got just a bunch of people, a bunch of friends too, really good musicians. So it's going to be like a 2.5 hour show of just tons of music. So
That's great though, like how you incorporated everyone to do something. It's going to be like the Last Waltz.
Exactly.
That's
Same
okay,
premise,
Yeah.
yeah,
What-
but it's our second show, but it's our
Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't
Yeah.
you don't have to explain anything.
Yeah.
It's the first waltz. It's your second show.
exactly.
Don't worry.
They
yeah.
didn't dance at the first show.
No, they're going to dance. You're going
They're
to
gonna
dance
dance.
there, boy.
What's
The
the
new
date
virus.
for that, Brennan?
That's June 15th.
You said June, but you didn't say what day.
Sorry, June 15th.
15th.
Yeah, it's a Saturday, and yeah, two of the guys from the New Hires are going to play Last Night by the Strokes with us.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun. I'm really, really excited to just
had them-
perform
we've
with
had
all
them
these
on the show.
musicians. Because yeah, it just seems like a really fun idea, and I'm glad
It
might
is.
actually- Mhm.
It's a very good idea.
I love the idea.
Yep.
Where is it at? Is it in
Rainbow.
Rainbow Room? Yeah.
Yep,
June
so,
15th.
Bistro. Rainbow Bistro.
Rainbow Bistro.
Mo Bistro.
Not the Rainbow Room where I watched or listened to reggae night Thursday nights.
No, sir.
Back in the day. What was if you were to go look at the Last Waltz, which you've probably seen, I suspect.
Oh yeah.
What is your favorite and what is the best performance on that show?
Well, there's so many of like where it's just the band where they crush it. Like obviously that version of the night they drove Old Dixie down is just the best. Like Levon was on it, and it makes no difference. Is such a good it's a rendition of that one. For the guests, I don't know. Van Morrison was definitely feeling it. He was flying for that show.
Well, so was Neil. Neil was really fucked
true.
up.
Yeah, Neil was definitely
He
flying.
was tripping balls, man.
Yeah. With the big old
He was.
I've seen it.
I know, but why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know.
salt in his nose.
I'll
But-
tell you. Yeah. He had the boogie sugar going.
Yeah.
I would say that just to go on mine, it was Neil Diamond when he came in Dry Your Eyes. I thought that was such a wicked song. Like I just thought it was perfect for that, like timing and how he comes out with like the rose colored glasses and just Dry Your Eyes. I just loved it. I thought it was great.
Is this sarcasm?
Nope.
No, I
It is
fucking
not.
loved it. I actually did like it. I know that Neil Diamond has some cheese to him, but that actually, I found that song and that performance with the band was excellent. And obviously the Hawk was right up there.
Oh,
Hawk
Always.
was awesome.
Yeah,
always.
'Cause
Hawk
they were his band, weren't they? Like
Yeah,
his backup band,
yeah,
like his
yeah.
band.
So
The band. He was the
The
band.
band. That's why they call it the band.
Yeah, I
I
suspect
don't
so.
mean to like crush your choice or anything like that, but there is a story that when Neil Diamond came off stage, he went up to Bob Dylan and he was like, "Top that," and Bob Dylan said, "What do I have to do? Fall asleep?"
Good for
Oh,
him. Good for Bob.
Bob.
Good for Bob. I didn't realize that. It doesn't matter how arrogant he was, but I didn't realize that he was a dick. But I kind of like the song. So that's
Oh yeah,
just
it's
the
Neil
time.
Diamond. It was just such a stacked lineup. Muddy
Yeah.
Waters too. Like
Oh
that's-
fuck yeah.
Oh,
Well, a
legend.
great story about Muddy Waters. He used to play here in Ottawa. There was a place called the Parliament Hill. Always had this like special bar that was across the street on Spark Street, And my mom would go because she was working at the Parliament building. And one afternoon, she went there with whoever she was working for at the time. And Muddy Waters was playing like on an afternoon and on the Thursday or something like that.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine seeing
Yeah.
Muddy Waters in a club like that. It would just
Small venue and just like crushed it,
that would be unbelievable.
Manish Boy is like
Manish Boys are great too.
Yeah.
Such a great tune.
if you want to be like, you want to get confident for something, like just play Manish Boy and
blast that.
you're good.
Just crank it up to 11.
Yeah.
I remember seeing BB King at Blues Fest.
I was there too, actually.
Yeah, I can't remember what year that would have been. Maybe 2014 or something like that.
Yeah. Really hot day. It was very hot.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember. I thought that might be it for him up there because it was warm up there. He was sitting down. He was
in his 80s. I mean,
he was in his 80s. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't believe we're watching this guy right now. Like, I felt really grateful because
Me too.
you're watching a living legend. And same with Buddy Guy when he played a few years ago too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And now they're not here anymore, right? I think Buddy Guy still
Guy's
alive?
still around.
But
Yeah, he's still
BB
kicking.
But BB passed away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
okay.
kicking.
Yeah.
Lucille is probably in the Hall of Fame, I suspect.
Yeah, I've always wanted one of those kind of guitars. I kind of have guitar acquisition syndrome.
I saw your Beatles on the wall there. Beatles bass on the wall.
That's the
Although
viola.
that's a
the
6
lineup.
string, though, eh? Was that a bass or a 6 string? I can't
That's
really
a bass.
tell. Yeah,
Yeah,
I figured it was Paul McCartney's bass.
Yeah, that was the one that went missing.
Yeah.
He wants it back.
He's good.
He's good.
I've got another one.
When we have him on the show, we'll tell him you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Good. I'd love to get Paul.
Yeah.
Braden, Braden has your bass, right?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, where's this guy live?
We'll tell you the next time he's playing. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul McCartney will show up at your little show. Oi,
You got my bass.
get my boys.
I would
back.
ask right out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably have a fanboy moment there.
I would.
Where did you? How big's the band, Braden? How many guys in your band?
It's 4 right now. So we've kind of always had additions and subtractions, but it's been a pretty solid 4 since Blues Fest. So it's me on guitar and singing, my longtime friend Brendan Hoff on bass guitar, longtime friend Bron Diedrich on drums, and Adam Traversy, also a longtime friend, on keys and vocals. But Adam's also the best guitar player out of the band, so I'm trying to get him to bring his guitar crap to gigs as well. But he's an unbelievable singer and piano player, or keyboard player. So I think it kind of makes a really familiar but unique blend of sounds, especially with that organ tone on most of the songs. It's cool. It's not something I'm used to. I've always been playing with just guitars, and not really any harmonizers for the most part. So it's great to have the 2 guys I've been familiar with and been playing with since high school, and then Adam, he's kind of like the Garth Hudson of the band,
Nice.
Like he just knows everything. He knows like stuff way over my head, like it's like, oh man, this beat's on the 5th, you got to start on the 4th, and all that kind of crap. And it's just like, dude, talk English. Like,
Yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I can't figure that kind of stuff out. So he's one of those guys, and every band needs one of those guys for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You need the glue, and he's the glue.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you started thinking about playing the drums. Do you play any other instruments other than guitar and bass?
Yeah, I eventually got very fortunate, and my parents moved into a house that was not attached to any other houses. So I eventually got a drum set and managed to. I can hold a beat. We'll say that I can hold a beat, but I'm no Bron Diedrich, my drummer, because he's just probably the best drummer in the city, if not the freaking country. Because once you see this guy roll, you'll be blown away. So I realized quickly I have no business really practicing this because it's not going to get close to somebody like that. And yeah, I got a bass. Like I like to do home recordings and stuff like that. So I dabble on, all the basic instruments, harmonica, mandolin, bass, piano, all that crap. But I couldn't say I'm amazing at any of it. I can dabble on all of it though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Best drummer in the city, huh?
Country, he said.
Oh, he said city first.
City and probably country.
I'd put my money on it.
All right. Got to come out to a show and judge for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because we know.
Just let me know.
We do.
Do we?
We'll be on the
We have
guest.
an opinion.
Both of you on the guest list. You got it.
Thank you. We're there.
Yep. When's the next show?
I think it's the June 15th one. That's
There you
that
go.
release show.
I was planning to come to that anyway.
I'd love to go to that, actually. I'm
That'd be
totally
great to have
down
you
with
guys
that.
That sounds like an epic show.
I love that kind of like that whole concept. Like,
Yes.
it's wonderful.
And you'll
It's great.
see a lot of really great local acts too involved in the show, like a bunch of them. So
You give us some stage time. We'll come out and say, "Yo, what's up, Dawg and Gus here? We're gonna show off our chops on the stage." You know?
Yeah. I'm
just
gonna play-
just say what's up and say, "Hey guys, check out. I hope you're enjoying this. Go follow all these guys." That's all I'll say.
can you
This is
give
me
us
on the
like
drums.
can you give us like the Kiss intro? Can you give us one of those? Like,
You wanted the best.
Is that what we're doing?
You got the best.
Yes, please. That'd be terrific.
No, there's no way I'm doing that, but I appreciate you asking. I'll be more like Willie Nelson intro.
These guys are good.
Yeah.
If you like weed,
Yeah. Wait, let me open my eyes. Where am I again?
yeah. Willie's not smoking anymore though.
What?
Yeah, he's off it.
That's why
He's 90 years old, but yeah, he's done.
That's why my stock in weed went down.
Yeah.
I don't think that's why, but
No.
certainly,
Okay, fine.
weed with Willie, baby.
Yeah.
It's funny, like you watch him play that guitar that he has, and love to hear your side of this, Braden. But he says he's going to retire when the guitar breaks, and it's got like a hole in it. Like he's put a beating on that guitar. How does he play that thing still? I have to ask you.
Trigger. Yeah. Legendary guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, with the name like Trigger, that's it's just already legendary status. But yeah, it's an acoustic guitar. They all got holes in them. If anything, it might even help the sound with that extra one that he's worn out.
Well,
But I like that.
It's definitely a different sound, right?
Yeah, it's a classical guitar strung like a regular guitar. I don't think he uses nylon strings.
Steel
it
for
does
sure.
have, you can easily tell if it's Trigger being played, and he does have a kind of specific solo style too when he does do solo guitar playing. But I love vintage old guitars especially, and I like when it clearly shows that they've been played. That means it's a great guitar if it's that beat up and worn. I agree. I don't think he should play another show if that thing goes down.
Yep.
Yeah.
How could you?
Maybe he's got a couple triggers.
Maybe he does, like the Stanley Cup. He's
Actually,
got like three of them.
just going on that, Lucas Nelson, his son, is an amazing guitarist. Like he's wildly good.
Yeah,
There's a song that he plays that I play quite often, all the time, just because of the guitar solos.
I have a favorite by his. Hope you find yourself before you find somebody else to be my love. Yeah,
That's a good one.
Groovy, but like still folky and country.
Yeah,
and he's got that kind of Willie Nelson twang, but it's still his own.
Yeah,
so he's a really cool.
Is it Find Yourself? That's a song. Yeah.
Find Yourself. Yeah. Oh, that's a huge groove of a song.
For me, it's the song he plays. It's called Pally Gap / Hey Baby. It's on the Promise of the Real album. It's like, you got it. That one's like off the chains. Anyways.
Did you name any of your guitars, Braden?
You know what? No, I never did that. Not against it or anything, but it just never. None of the guitars really screamed, "Call me this," you know. Like I just call them. Like I got this one here. This is my SG, classic electric guitar.
Very nice.
Thought I'd put a white pickguard on it to make it look a little bit different. Like I said earlier, I love ACDC. So this is one of the earliest acquisitions I got. But again, no, I just never thought, I'm going to name you George.
Dog.
Yeah.
He'd be honored.
I would.
I'll get two acoustics, a Dawg and a Gus.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah. Mine can be like a Takamine or something like that,
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you want.
Yeah. A nice big acoustic.
Big 4-headed guitar.
What, yeah, you've got a bigger forehead than I do
You can't tell though. I'm wearing a hat.
because he's got no
That's-
hair.
Yeah, my forehead
yeah.
goes all the way to the back of my neck.
Yeah. To his beard.
Yeah.
What, like when was there a time that you ever thought of quitting music altogether? Was that ever in your scope?
Yeah, I mean, 30 now, which, I mean, it's not old or anything like that, but
No,
I
you're not old.
yeah, no, I know, but I sometimes feel like maybe I should, find that salary job and just be comfortable and not worry about money, because everybody knows that it's not the most lucrative gig in the world these days. But it's a fleeting thought because I just, love it too much. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day if we make money or anything like that. As long as we're
You'd be miserable. And what's the point in that?
Yeah.
No,
Seriously.
it's
Don't do it.
It's just so much fun getting on stage and playing songs, or getting in the studio and recording with your buddies and seeing something that wasn't there before turn into this song with all these, different sonics and things like that. And it's just exciting. It's always fun and exciting. So there's no reason to stop anytime soon. As long as there's shows to be played, we'll be playing them.
That's good. It's very tangible.
You have to
Yeah.
take this. I gotta go.
You don't worry. Don't.
Making it a habit now.
Yeah, it's like you can't even make it an hour anymore. It's okay. He's fine. Would you are you guys working on a full album again, or what are you guys doing right now?
I mean, there's songs for sure that I think we can compile.
Yeah, sorry, I should say that. Do you like doing the singles and then releasing an album at the end, or is that kind of the way you're going to go with it for now, or do you think that it's just going to be something a little different?
Yeah, I don't know right now. Like we just did that EP, and we wanted to do it, right and sound really good. Not because Little Hell I did from home, and everyone else did from home, and sent it all together and did it, and it sounds good, but it still sounds like from home. So I wanted to do a really good sounding batch of songs, but it's expensive. It's very expensive to make it sound really good without funding anyway. So I think we're going to try to keep applying for funding and try to get some help, because if we can get that, we'll definitely make an album, because I love albums. As much as, the way things are these days, single releases are kind of the standard, which is cool too. But you can always release singles and then eventually just put them on an album. So,
yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. I think that's the play,
Yeah.
It's
Because-
because then you get something out that's fresh, and then as they come out, and then eventually you compile them. I think, not that I'm telling you what to do, but I think that that's kind of what everybody that we've spoken to. But I think that a lot of people are trying to go back to albums, which is great because, I think that I come from an era where albums were, like you felt it, you feel it in your hand. I mean, you don't anymore really, but unless you go buy something that somebody presses on vinyl, or
Right.
I just remember getting a cassette tape. I was really excited about it. But yeah, no, I think that it's a great, it doesn't matter either way what you do, but I think that the better way for me is I love hearing a good single and then eventually hearing the full thing together, because you're going to put it together in the way that you want it, right? Even if the singles are released differently, you can put the songs in order the way you like it,
Yeah, exactly. And I totally agree. I'm a big vinyl collector. I love vinyl. I have for a long time now. And there's definitely something to be said about having that physical thing, and looking at the art, looking at the credits, seeing where it was made, when it was made, all these different details that you wouldn't be able to get if you're just, on some playlist. So I definitely love albums. I love making an album. And that's, I think, always the way to go. Because you can always just listen to the songs individually too, if you want. You don't have to listen to the whole thing.
That's right.
But the option's there. And I think I'm not the only songwriter in the band either. So I think there's definitely potential for an album in the future for sure. And if not EPs, batches of songs, whatever it may be, definitely gonna keep putting together songs like that.
It's awesome. I mean, you're gonna do this for the rest of your life, so there's all kinds of stuff coming your way. But
Done. Cassettes galore.
cassettes, imagine those.
Did he just say that for you?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, he's a vinyl collector,
I heard that.
and I like cassettes.
I know you do. I don't.
You think that's
Well,
gonna
I
have a
actually can-
resurgence?
No,
No. Yeah, probably not.
I think vinyl's gonna stick around for a while.
Hard to say because now the prices, like, it's so ridiculous how much you're paying for a single album now these days. Like, they're talking like
$40.
yeah. Well, I was watching a video and the guy was talking and he's saying, like, it's going to discourage younger vinyl buyers because the prices are so, like, $40, $60, $80, depending on who it is and what it is. Like, back in the day, I could go to HMV or I could go to Discus and whatever and buy like 4 or 5 albums for like $40, right? Back when everybody was obviously producing albums and stuff, but now it's there's not so many.
Well, they cost a lot to make.
Yeah, I know, but there's not so many like companies around making them anymore. So
There's
that's
like, I think there's like 4 in
yeah,
North America.
exactly.
or
So,
something
and
like
crazy, and and our friend owns one of them. I call him our friend.
that. Yeah, actually, we should hook you up with him if you ever want to do a vinyl.
I
Apparently,
was about to say, because that's been a dream of mine since I started making music, or especially since I started collecting vinyl, because I'm one of those people who's like, it does sound better, man.
yeah, it does.
Especially if you have a really good sound system. Yeah, a little selfish part of me is like, I really want to hear myself on vinyl, man. That'd be such a thrill.
Right?
Yeah, stop questioning these things that you're saying to yourself. You deserve it. You should
Right.
have it. You should promote yourself. You should do these things because nobody is going to do it for you.
Yeah,
So you do it. I'm
This is
going to change your mindset for you.
Gus,
Sorry.
as Gus
Sorry.
keeps telling me, throw it out there into the universe, Braden. It'll happen.
Exactly. Just put it out there. And listen, it's going to happen because we're going to set you up with Kyle from Laughing and Slow Motion, and he's going to set you up with an album because he can get it for a good price. And he wants to help
he
people
wants
like
to
you.
help.
He
Yeah.
wants to do this. And
Love
he's
that.
we just interviewed him. We just released it today. And you should go listen to it because he does have a good few points on there. Anyways, we might as well, let's get right to the important, tough,
the driving right straight to the heart of everything question. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Is it 80s or is it 90s as a decade of music for you?
Like as preference,
Yes.
Correct.
I mean, I'm from the 90s. There's a good chunk of 80s stuff I love, but I think more from the 90s.
That's it. No more 30-year-olds on this show.
Well, then we'll be boring.
Yeah.
I need to speak to some. We need to get some vibrancy in the like.
I think
we'd have too many people taking bathroom breaks if we did that.
Stop it. You wait till you get to be my age and taking meds and stuff. I blame the meds.
Well, I think this podcast will be over by then.
Oh, I think I'll be dead.
No, man, you'll be
By the time
crushing it. You'll be still like you'll be getting new tattoos on your head or something when you're like 80 years old. That's awesome. Any 90s band that really sticks out for you?
I had a huge Chili Peppers phase. I guess they technically started in the 80s, but
They did.
thrived in the 90s, I suppose. I read Anthony Kiedis's book pretty early on in my music journey, and that was an eye-opener. I don't know if you read that book, but that guy's crazy.
He's crazy. His dad was crazy. There's a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, super crazy stuff. But I became obsessed with so much of their music, and I've seen them a couple times. Not with John Frusciante though, because he was my favorite band member. They're all cool.
Let's be honest, he's the most talented out of that. And they're a talented band, but he was incredibly talented. Is incredibly talented.
Yeah, he put the kind of I don't want to say radio-ness to their songs, but it made it more poppy, more melodic, more I guess mainstream. But it's also they're so unique.
Radio friendly is probably
Right.
Yeah, but he was also very he was very in touch with the like being a musician and like the old school ways of things, and not like worried so much about, even though he did add to the poppiness / radio play for it, but I think that he still had the way he spoke about it and stuff. He was very, he still is. I mean, he talks about it very kind of like, it's like spiritual almost, you know?
Yeah, unbelievable guitar player too.
Yeah. Yeah, talented. Oh my God.
Snow is probably my favorite Chili Peppers tune.
That's a good tune.
I don't think I'll ever be able to learn that guitar riff. I've tried, and I don't think it's happening because it's a lot. And he sings on top of that. So yeah, that whole band, they're just ridiculously talented. I love Chad Smith. Obviously, Flea is amazing, and Anthony Kiedis is just wonderful. So that's my favorite '90s, I think.
Very cool.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, thanks again for your time today, Braden.
Thank you, guys.
We love watching you grow and seeing how you go. So
Grow and go, baby.
yeah,
There we
man.
go.
So I appreciate you coming to join us, and we'll keep an eye out for June 15th. I can't wait to see that.
Oh,
show.
I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he's putting us on the list, bro.
We're on the list.
Yeah, he already said it.
Oh.
It's on here. Don't worry.
Well, look at us.
Well, I mean, did you miss that part because you were?
No, I heard
away?
that part. I just wanted to reaffirm. Don't make fun of the old man. It's
Braden,
not nice.
Braden, you're the man. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Dawg Gus, Dawg Gus, Dawg Gus.